Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is here. Yeah. Keep on going, Torch. We in the special edition of Bridge Business with Big Horse.
Let's go. We here.
I go by the name of Sway. I've been telling y'all this for years. I've been saying it for years. This man has held multiple world championships in 3 weight classes, Horse.
Yes.
Including the WBO welterweight title since 2018. He's had them all, the unified WBA, Super, WBC, IBF, WBO, ring, and lineal light welterweight titles between 2015 and 2017. Became the first male boxer to simultaneously hold all 4 major world titles in boxing. Man, turn that, give applause.
Keep those going.
I've been talking too much shit for years, Horse.
Let's go.
I said it early. I would never bet against Terence Crawford. I said that early, and I knew I might have offended a few friends who've been on the show. But you got to understand, man, I've been doing this run for a long time. We still haven't been fishing.
What's up with that?
We still haven't gone fishing. I've hung out with the family. The family know me by name. We've been on the same bus. Come on, they're like, Swiggity, where you at? You coming to the fight? My man DM me, said, you coming to the fight? I said, Terence.
They called you Swiggity, though?
I feel like the family called me Swiggity.
Okay. I just wanted some clarification.
I
just needed some clarification.
Okay. And so it's finally here. Easily. This is the fight of the era.
Yes.
Salute to Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis for what they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
But easily, this is the fight that the boxing world has been waiting for years. Horse, you've been saying this for years. I want to welcome this man back to the show, to a special edition of Sway in the Morning and Bridge Business. Give it up for the one and only Terence Bud Crawford.
The champ is here.
That's right.
The new champ. Let's go, the new.
I swear to you, we could look in the footage. Last time we saw him, he was not wearing this. That Gucci. He was not wearing this kind of clothing right now. Look how much this man has come up.
It's different. It hit different.
The afro is tight. Look at him, man. Come on.
Come on, man. We in grind mode.
You in grind mode?
Definitely.
This has to feel like a dream come true. I mean, you've been living out your dream, winning these titles and winning these championships, but it's not a fight you've had that measures to the magnitude of this. This is Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns or Hagler. This is Ali and Frazier. This is that to the boxing world, man. How does that feel for you? Are you in your dream?
It feels great. You know, this is something that I've been wanting for years. I should have got it with Manny Pacquiao, but I haven't had the opportunity to have this moment right here. And I'm going to seize the opportunity in the moment, July 29th.
How you feel, man? He got that champ talk now. He sound like he got that icon talk.
Yeah, you know what I want to find out is, where was you at when you got the phone call that you got the big fish on the hook right now and it's ready to go down July 29th?
I think I was in the car or something. I can't remember where I was at.
Did you think it was real or you thought it was fake?
No, I knew the fight was going to get done.
Because I'm as a boxing fan, I'm happy that this fight took this long, because I felt like we would have been cheated if the pandemic, if y'all had had this without a crowd and all the stuff that y'all had to go through. This is the fight that I felt like everybody wanted to see, because my first fight that I went to in Vegas was against you and Sean. That was the first boxing fight. I've been a boxing fan for years. This is the first fight I ever went to, as far as in Vegas. Your family was so deep in there, man. I mean, your family was so deep in there, and it just was it was electrifying. And I crowned you pound for pound that day. I know they got the pound for pound list that been going around, this, that, and the third, but I felt like Sean Porter was the guy that I felt like was the dog that everybody couldn't go through like that. And the way you finished Sean, because he was my favorite fight at 147, but tables turned. The way you finished Sean in Vegas that time, I was like, yo, hands down. Bud is the pound for pound. Sean didn't even want no more after that. It wasn't like he felt like I could do better next time. It was no rematch, no nothing. I crowned you pound for pound that day. Was that like the biggest fight of your life, as far as fighting Sean at that time?
No, I wouldn't say that was the biggest fight of my life. Fighting Sean, it was a great moment in my career, but for me, the greatest fight of my career was against Ricky Burns.
Okay.
Ricky Burns. Okay. Why you say that?
Because that's where it all began.
That's where you got the title.
Yeah. That's when my real true dreams came true. That one night.
Man, look at Terence Crawford. Man, I ain't seen you in a long time. Man. This is good to see you, man. It's good to see you. How's your life changed? Because you starting to make bigger purses now, and how is your life, the way you live every day with you and your kids, now that you got more resources? How has your life changed?
It haven't.
Really?
I still live in the same house. Still go about my day-to-day routine. Still do the same things that I've been doing 20, 30 years ago.
On purpose, though? Are you trying to keep it the same to stay disciplined, to stay grounded?
No, it's just me. I don't need all the extra things that a lot of people feel they need because they make more money or they got this limelight that's surrounding them. So they feel as if they got to impress people or they got to buy this certain type of car because they got to show off how much money they got or they got to buy certain jewelry or certain clothes.
That's not you.
Nah.
He's not even wearing jewelry to the interview today, man. I can see, man.
But it's still Gucci, though.
It's still Gucci, though. He's Gucci. But I remember reading a headline that somebody, that things have changed, obviously. I mean, because people broke into your home, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Did y'all? I know you put out $100K reward if they could find the person. Did y'all find the person?
No, we didn't find a person, but I got an idea who I think it was.
We did a little survey on our show when that happened, and we all agreed that it was somebody you knew.
Definitely.
Damn. Always the ones you know.
It is, but it happens. I'm not the only one or the first one that something like this done happened to. It's normally the ones that sit right next to you.
Yeah.
The ones that
smoke blunts with you.
Yeah.
See your picture. It's true. I want to give you credit. Oh, did you want to finish your thought with Sway about that?
Nah.
I want to give you credit. In most boxers, I always have a hard time following boxing, even though I'm a huge sports fan. Because it seems like everything takes so long in boxing. You have to wait. I'm like, well, if this person beat that person, how come this is not the next fight? And I go back and forth with both Horse and Sway about it all the time. But then they kind of break down the business end of it for me. Then I can't understand why it's only like 2 fights a year. I'm like, what are they doing, the rest of the year? But I realize, just through my own level and experience, is patience. You have to have a lot of patience. Is there something specifically that you can share that helps you work on your patience in the sport that you're in? Because you even have to practice patience once you get in that ring. You can't just go in there running and gunning. It's a marathon, if you will, rather than a sprint. And then waiting for your next fight or waiting to get the big fights. How does that work for you, and how do you work on your patience?
Well, I'm pretty sure a lot of fighters would like and love to fight more often, but things ain't like they was back in the days. See, back in the days, people will fight 3-4 times in 1 month.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, they wasn't getting paid the same as we was. So
the business was different.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, they had to fight more often. Nowadays, boxers and managers and the business side of boxing has changed dramatically to where one fight you done made more than those fighters back in the days then made
in their careers
in 1 year. But at the same time, the cost of living is up too.
Yeah.
So
So we was talking about things having changed. You said nothing really changed. I think since you left, you departed your ways with Top Rank, as far as Top Rank, and you've been doing your own thing. How has that been working for you, as far as promoting your own fights and doing things like that, being Bud?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. It was a little rocky at first, but everything happened for a reason, and God makes no mistakes. And everything is where it is right now because of the chances that I took on myself.
Amen.
So I want to bring this up too because maybe not even a year ago you posted a picture with Hov. And after you post the picture with Hov, it seemed like the negotiations started taking off a little bit fast as far as with you and Errol Spence. Did he give you any type of insight or something like that when you had like a meeting or something like that? Because I saw a picture with y'all both. I was like, oh, maybe this guy might be headed to Rock Nation or something like that.
No. We talked a little bit. You know, Jay a cool dude, very wise. No, he didn't have nothing to do with how negotiations was going or anything.
Okay, because I thought that he might have gave you a little
Those
insight.
signing Rock Nation Sports might
That's
be
what I was about to say. I saw that going down. I'm like, uh-oh, it might be going down over there.
Terence being secretive. You know, I want to go back to Top Rank because I remember you filed a lawsuit against Top Rank. This is correct, right?
For sure.
Okay, and you claim that they had discriminatory practices. They had racial bias in how they handled their business. Can you elaborate on that? Do you still feel the same?
Well, you know, I ain't gonna talk about the case because it's still ongoing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just leave that right there.
Okay, but in boxing as a whole, not with your case in particular, do you see that racial bias can be an issue?
Definitely, and not just boxing, in all sports.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. We living in a country where racism is still apparent.
Damn, how you get around that though?
Man, I don't know.
You file lawsuits. All right. This fight could have went down last November. I remember this. We were discussing this, right? And you went to Errol Spence Jr. and said, I have a hedge fund. I have investors that are willing to give $25 million apiece. And it didn't happen. Why not? What was that about?
Well, it just wasn't beneficial to the parties to actually let a hedge fund come in and give Errol a guarantee and give me a guarantee and have more control over the event. So that was pretty much the reason why it didn't go down.
Did Errol want it to go down or he didn't trust it?
I don't know, but to be honest, none of that matters right now.
Yeah.
Because we here.
We here, right?
You know, so the hedge funds, the wrong side of the streets, the who you fought, the who you didn't fight, none of that matters right now.
You don't care about none of that.
Because we here. No matter what we can say about or what happened in the past, doesn't matter because July 29th, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. is fighting for the
T-Mobile Arena, man. We're going to open up these phone lines. The champ is here. Terence Bud Crawford, fellow angler, and he boxes too. He's here, 888-742-3345. Let's talk about it. All right, man, we got the champion here, the WBO world champion, Terence Bud Crawford, fighting Errol the Truth Spence Jr. for the Undisputed Welterweight World Championship Saturday, July 29th, live on Showtime. Shout out to my brother, Steven Espinoza. I used to serve him up on a basketball court at Stanford University back in the day. That's why I get front row seats. This is going to be at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Horse, we got the champ here.
Oh, man. There's so many questions I need to ask, the champ, but it's like one of the questions I wanted to ask was, is Shakur Stevens one of your unofficial scorecards when you're boxing? Because being at the fight, I was at the fight in Vegas, and going home and watching the fight, round 10, you're sitting on the chair. Somebody said you was down. You was like, I'm down. You wasn't looking at you looking at somebody saying I'm down. Once they told you was down, you turned it up. And I saw Shakur a couple of fights ago, and I asked Shakur that when he fights, do you give him advice inside the ring? He said, I always look for where Bud is at, because Bud would tell me to go to the body and do that. So is that type of brotherhood that y'all have when y'all boxing?
Of course. I always look towards, my brothers that train with me and know me and, been in the ring with me and know what I'm capable of doing. So, like, Shakur, Steven Nelson, I always look towards, the crowd and see where they at, before I ever, start fighting. I look around. They give me that nod. I be like, all right, let's get it.
Yeah, I saw that because I'm looking. I watched that fight a lot with you and Sean because I always felt that. I don't know how you might have felt about it, but I felt that Sean and Spence could have been a draw. I didn't think that Spence, won that fight clearly. I thought it could have been a draw. But watching the fight with you and Sean, it was the same left hook that he threw that buckled him, but yours put him down. Then next I saw Kenny come up on the rope. I didn't know what that was about. And then I'm like, yo, Bud is pound for pound. He just crowned himself pound for pound tonight. So looking at you fight like that, is there going to be a suffocated fish that's going to be coming up on Big Fish when you fighting this time?
Suffocated fish.
Definitely. We definitely going to suffocate him and then fillet him.
And then fillet him. Come on, man. Come on, let's be real, though. Let's be honest. This is probably going to be the toughest fight of your career, right?
We don't know that.
You believe that. You don't know that.
We said that time and time again. On paper, it says that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is each other's toughest competition to date. But we didn't heard that before from both of us. And we both rose to the occasion. Except a lot of people thought he was going to steamroll Sean Porter, and that was his toughest fight. A lot of people thought Sean Porter was going to be my toughest task, and I steamrolled Sean Porter. So we don't know until we get in the ring.
But you're a boxer, you're a professional. You can look at his legacy, his track record, and know that man has earned those 3 belts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's definitely earned everything that he has. But at the same time, I'm in training camp preparing for war, life and death. So when I get in the ring, it may be life and death or it may not. I can't say what it's going to be until after the fight.
He said you're too small. I saw that. Y'all was backstage and you rolled up on him. I can't think of what fight it was. And he said you were too small. A lot of critics say that. You might be too small.
Well, if you look at my whole career, I've always been a smaller man.
Hit hard, though.
No different from when I was at 140. I was the smaller man. When I moved up, I was the smaller man. So I'm used to being a smaller man. I like it.
You like it, Terence Bud Crawford. He don't seem to be worried about any of it right now.
So if you wouldn't have got this, if this fight wouldn't have went through with Errol Spence, was you looking towards Boots Ennis or Keith Thurman, as far as just to keep it going?
Well, whoever. Well, if this fight wouldn't came to fruition, I would have had to take my mandatory, obviously. But
who was your mandatory?
Alex Rocha.
Oh, Alex Rocha. Did you ever? I noticed a lot of people dodge their mandatories and stuff. Did they dodge you, or did you?
I ain't never dodged no mandatory.
No, I'm saying, was you a mandatory for somebody and they dodged you?
No, they try to pay me step aside money when I fought Ricky Burns, but other than that, nah.
Okay.
Step aside money. What's that? That's where you don't take a fight and they just pay you to sit down?
Yeah, they just pay you for them to fight.
That's why I don't be understanding boxing.
Step
Like,
aside
what's
money.
taking so long?
So you got paid to watch the fight.
Right.
This contract, usually when fights of this magnitude happen, there's a lot of clauses. I don't know these contract laws of boxing. It don't seem like nobody stick to them anyway. But do y'all have a rematch clause, and is it determined by if someone was knocked out or not?
Nah.
No.
It's when you got a rematch clause, it's just in there. It's in place.
So if you get knocked out, you still get the person still gets the rematch.
Yeah.
Is there one in there in this contract?
Yeah.
Oh, we gonna get 2 fights.
Man, it's about to be a trilogy.
Y'all didn't want to say that. Oh my God,
man, it's about to be a trilogy.
We'll be here again. T-Bud is coming back to the show, y'all. We gonna talk about it, man. Oh my gosh, man! I gotta take some callers, man. I promise they'll be able to talk to you. This is Horse and I you've been on the podcast, Bridge Business, and we got ambassadors around the country. In New Orleans, we got my man Chew. Chew is on the line. Chew, we got him in here. Chew, we told you he's gonna get him. Chew.
What up, family? What up, bud?
Peace.
What's up with it?
Big fan, man. Big fan. Question, I'm glad Sway asked that because the public was under the impression that if one of y'all got knocked out, that the rematch clause wouldn't be in effect anymore. But the question I have is, do you think Spence has any advantages over you?
Do I think Spence have any advantage over me? No. I don't think no fighter have an advantage over me. If he do, then I'm gonna make it to where he doesn't. So I don't believe Spence have any advantages over me. No.
True. Do you believe Spence has an advantage over him?
I think honestly, Sway, I think Spence has the better jab, and I think he does better body work. I think Terence probably does everything else better. So if Spence does have an advantage, I think it's the jab. If he can keep Bud at the end of his jab and work the body, you got a good chance. If he can't, it might not be a good night for him.
What do you think about his jab?
Got a great jab. Got a great jab, but I think people is dismissing my jab.
Okay.
That's why I like, keep him asleep.
He got a 78% knockout ratio too, man. Bud,
78%.
78% right there. So that speaks for itself.
Tracy, he's 39 fights, 39 wins, 30 by KO.
Wild. A champion.
There it is.
You know what I'd be wondering, because I see mainly in films, I'm not gonna lie, but the training of a lot of boxers involves many different sports. Sometimes I see swimming, sometimes I see sprinting. I think one time I saw a boxer even doing like Pilates. It makes me wonder, do you feel like you could be a professional athlete in another sport, considering the different skills that you've gained in boxing?
100%.
Huh. What would be those
100%.
sports?
I played football. I played basketball.
He's nice in ball. He got a little sweet touch in ball.
I can do it. I can do it all. You put me in the sport, I might not be the best at it, but I'm gonna be good at it. Mm-hmm. That's just me right now. Not knowing nothing. Mm-hmm. You put me out there, and I'm gonna do my thing.
That's what's up.
That's mindset.
I seen a celebrity basketball game. Bud was gunning him. I'm
was
talking
like-
about from deep. I mean, Bud was. I was shocked. I was shocked.
Wait, go ahead.
I was gonna just add, are there any like unique elements of your training that even if you've done it like once before, but you was like, that was different?
No. I think we keep the same routines. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and just touch up the things that we need to touch up for the opponent that we facing. But far as new routines and things like that, nah.
Yeah, consistent.
I hope in this fight right here that it's not in the judge's hands. I just hope that at the end of the day, I hope it's a knockout. I hope it's a knockout, because the way that these judges and these scorecards are going today, man, I don't want to be cheated as a fan. I don't want to be, looking at a fight that I clearly seen somebody win and the judges just was buzzed or whatever, drunk when he was taking his score. But are you looking for are you going for the knockout? Is it going to be a knockout?
Well, I go for the win.
Oh.
I don't go in there looking for the knockout. Some judges judge on different things. So us fans on the outside looking in, we may be thinking and watching one fighter, and we not looking at the body of work that the other fighter doing. And so we might get a little biased because we leaning towards another fighter and we not really too cared about what the other fighter is doing. So it's a give and a take.
Is there any fighter that you took it personal? Like, I know it's a business and it's a boxing and you got to keep the business. Is there any fight that you had you was like, yo, this is going to be a personal ass whooping I'm giving out?
I had 2 fights, but we didn't settle that difference. The differences. Hank Lundy and
that was a good one.
Jose Benavidez.
Benavidez. Oh, I remember that.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Then was 2 fighters that I wanted to see on the streets.
Yeah, absolutely, because you know what it was? Because it was the press conference before. Like, I seen those back and forths, and those are the 2 dudes I was going to say that personal. With Spence, this is just the business. You just want the greatest fight the greatest. That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Just he want to accomplish something that I want to accomplish, and that's become welterweight undisputed champion of the world.
Yeah, but what about Charlo, man? Like I recall you saying that once, let's just assume hypothetically this goes according to plan, that you was willing to move up to 154 and fight one of the Charlo brothers. That's true, or both of them?
Yeah, man.
Is that still real?
He's a groupie. You know what I mean? Like,
Talk your shit, bud.
I just feel like ever since I moved, and they was cool. You know what I mean? I'm still cool with Jamal. Jamal's still cool people, but Jamel, like, dude just like weird. Like, he always angry, he always yelling, he always, doing some off the wall psycho type stuff.
But what is it between y'all two? How did that happen?
That's what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
When I moved up in weight, and soon as I called out Spence and my name was being involved in Spence, he act like that was his fiance or something. He felt as if Errol couldn't speak for himself. He was, Errol Spence to do this, Errol Spence to do that, and you too little, and Lions, and it's Texas, and this and that. Boy, you from Lafayette, Louisiana, while you screaming Texas. And he from New York. Mm-hmm. Let me and Errol handle this, and you just sit in the sideline, because we all know he be beating you up in sparring. You know what I mean? That's why you know what I mean?
Is that a fact, though? Is that well known?
Listen, I ain't gonna put out their business, but listen.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the part where me and him start heating up, and then he saying I'm not fighting nobody and this and that, and I'm like, dude, we on two different levels, bruh. Congratulations, you became undisputed. I take my hats off to you. You worked tremendously hard to get to where you at, and I respect that. But the level that Charlo on and the level that Terence Crawford on is two different levels. Don't nobody ever be at his fights. It's night and day.
You saying he ain't got an audience?
But I'm saying he claimed he sells so much, and he's this big superstar, but
he could fight though. Like, it's like, he got a track record.
But who is he fighting though? He didn't want to fight Laura.
Mm-hmm. Okay, they say that about you, T-Bud. Who you fought? That's what they've been saying that about you.
You look at all the world champions I fought, and look at all the world champions he fought. Look at all the world champions I fought. Look at all the world champions Errol fought.
They was going back and forth about that. Carol Brooks, and he said, "Look what I did to him." Then they go with Sean Porter. He said, "You did it, but I finished him." So they kept going.
Three different weight classes.
In 3 different weight classes. That's what you.
3 different weight classes.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing this. Captured my first title in 2014. That's almost 10 years. I can say a lot, but I just, sit back and let them talk. Been doing this.
As far as this training camp, what you doing different in this training camp that you didn't do before in other training camps?
Nothing.
Nothing. The same thing. Damn.
It's basic. He's ready for the big fish. I'm ready for it, man. I'm here for. I'm just so happy that this is actually about to happen.
Horse hasn't slept since y'all made the announcement.
Honestly, because you know what it is. Boxing is missing this. Boxing is missing champions fighting champions. Boxing is missing everybody doing what the best fighting the best. So to actually see these two guys wanting to do it without bad blood, it's the business at it. You got a belt, I want all the rest of your 3 belts. You want this? You want to be undisputed? Come get it. So I like to see that right there. That's the matchups that I love to see. I think it needs to be more of those in boxing.
Well, that's why I felt, and you could tell me how you feel, and I know this is unpopular, but I felt that Devin Haney retained his titles. I didn't feel like Loma did enough to take the titles from Devin Haney. That was unpopular. I know people looking at me, but I come from that era of where you got to beat up the champ.
Yeah, take it.
To take the belts. What was your thoughts on that fight?
That was a close fight. A lot of people gave Loma the victory. A lot of people gave Devin the victory.
Yeah.
They look at, like I was saying earlier when I said a lot of people was looking at Lomachenko work, but they wasn't paying attention to Devin body of work, how he was going to the body and things like that. So I'm not no judge. I don't score fights. They scored it how they scored it, and Devin retained all his titles, and he the undisputed lightweight champion of the world.
Did you put Shakur up to stepping in the ring and staring at Devin like he was a piece of meat on a plate after he won the title?
No,
You didn't do that?
Listen, little bro want all the smoke.
Yeah.
You know, and he's coming for anybody with a belt.
Where you from, Sway?
Well, who's from?
Shakur.
Devin Haney's from Vegas.
Shakur, I'm sorry.
Newark.
His father's from Oakland.
Shakur from Newark.
Thank you.
He's from Newark.
Jersey. Jersey, boy.
All right, Mike.
Thank you, bud.
Mike News. I didn't know that. I thought he's,
Terrence, I love watching you fight, and I think you're so ambidextrous in your use of like the orthodox and the southpaw. I'm just curious, how do you use that to your advantage going against Errol Spence?
Well, that's why we watch the fight. You know, you have the questions that will be answered July 29th.
Damn, that's a champ answer
You ain't
right
feel
there.
nothing in that face-off yesterday? It wasn't nothing that you saw yesterday?
That
like,
face-off was huge,
He
bro.
wasn't scared? Like, you ain't see it like, only a little shook? I see it.
I don't think he was scared at all. You know, I think he's ready, just like he knows I'm ready. And this is a big moment for both of us.
But when y'all stare at each other, like, you was all up in his eyes. Like
I see some
what
weakness.
are you looking for? Like, when you look in the eye at the face-off?
I'm just looking at you. That's it.
Yeah, but are you trying to see, like, if they lack confidence or?
It doesn't matter what they lack or how they look. A person can be droopy and, you know,
Droopy.
a cat can be backed up in the corner and come out swinging. So, you know, I just like to let people know that I'm for real, I'm serious, and, you know, it's about to go down.
Terence Crawford is here, man. I'm going to take one or two more calls so people don't be mad at me. Torian from Indiana, go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, I was wondering if you was going, you know, like when you normally do, take it kind of slow. The first couple of rounds, you're going to come straight ahead at him, like we haven't seen you do before.
Who knows? We never know how the fight may start, but however it start, that's just the way it start. You know, I didn't start fast in some fights. I didn't start slow in some fights. Maybe this fight I had to start fast. Maybe this fight I had to start slow. July 29th, we'll see.
There you go, selling it again. During the Davis-Garcia fight, I remember at the press conference, Gervonta was saying, you know, I know something about you. Remember that? He was saying, I heard about you. I know what you don't like. And apparently there was a mole on the other side that was saying Garcia don't like that body punch. He got hurt in sparring with a body punch. And that ended up being the punch that Davis won the fight with. Do y'all have, like, inside information from, you know, do you spar with people who sparred with Earl? Is that, you know, I mean, I would do that. You know what I mean? I'll be honest. What do you know about this guy? I'm sparring with. What do you know about this guy?
Nah, we don't do that. We don't do that.
Y'all don't do that, bro. Y'all don't get information from no.
Nah, man. We gonna let our skills do the information and the data picking up. You know, you don't supposed to talk about nothing that happens in sparring. So I would never go to somebody that sparred one of my opponents and be like, hey, what you know about this guy, or what he like, or what he don't like. Like, that's showing a lack of confidence in myself.
And lack of integrity is cheating.
Sway, you would do it because you were up.
You're absolutely
I've been telling you that the whole
Now you
time.
know it.
Now see, Bud just proved
He
it.
proved I'm an op.
You're up, yo. You gonna go to somebody and try to get. Come on,
Come on, Ali Foreman. You know, people were coming back to Ali camp saying, man, champ, he's a killer. You know, y'all
but
don't.
he wasn't going asking for the information. Like, if they coming in to Ali and telling him things about Foreman or Frazier, you know, that's them doing on their own. Now, we not reaching out to people that we know been in the ring or sparred.
So you a reacher too.
I'm all that.
You a better reacher.
I'm all that. I'm trying to find out how the best way, the quickest way to knock you out.
Yeah.
Right? Man, Terence Crawford is here, man. He said it before. How you measure greatness. How do you measure greatness? And we measure greatness by eras.
Yes.
This was your words, right? You had the Ali era. You had the Mayweather era. You know, Sugar Ray Robinson era. You've had all of these eras, and you say after this fight, this will be the Terence Crawford era.
For sure.
How does that era, what does that look like, this era?
Well, it looks like Terence Crawford never had a close fight. It looks like Terence Crawford dismantled every opponent that stepped in the foot of the ring with him.
True.
Looks like Terence Crawford was a 3-time lineal champion in every weight class that he fought in. Undisputed in the junior welterweight and the welterweight weight class. Number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, undisputed. That's what it looked like.
You on the outside looking in, and you seen this guy, Terence T. Bud Crawford. Would you put him on the same level as you would a Floyd Mayweather's career or a Muhammad Ali's career or some of whoever you think are the greatest? Would you put yourself from the outside looking in? Would you put this career up to those?
Talent-wise, yes, but fight-wise, no.
Why not?
Because Floyd had all the fighters and the opportunity to become who he is today. You know, Floyd had the De La Hoyas, the Shane Mosleys, the Bertos, the Guerrero. I mean, he had all the champions to fight, you know, from 130 to 154. And those are the opportunities that I miss because that was the last generation with big names. So he had a lot of fighters that was champions that was great, Hall of Famers as well, that he was capable of fighting. Now when you look at right now the playing field, the level of playing field that I'm in right now, the last guy to have a world superstar name was Manny Pacquiao. You know, and when he retired, that was it. You know, when Floyd was here, he had so many fighters to pick and choose from. So that's why it's so critical and big for boxing to have Terence Crawford and Errol Spence fight, because they know this is the last big rodeo.
There it is, Terence Crawford. Horace, you want to ask him the last question? Go ahead, Horace.
Hey, you know what? I want to, before I leave, I want to shout out your kids, first of all, but I want to shout out your daughter, Talea. Lele, y'all was calling her?
Yes.
If y'all remember, it was a viral footage of a young lady. She was in a track meet, and she couldn't put a sneaker on, and the girls left. They was, you know, they was ahead of her, and all you have saying like, "Come on, Lele, come on, Lele." That was your daughter, right?
Yes.
So that was a great comeback, and I saw the strive in her, and I seen like, yo, she ain't gonna let these girls beat her. And I mean, they had her beat by a stretch. Like she had to put her sneakers on, and they was already running. So shout out to your kids and everything, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Man, anything you want to say to the fans in closing, bro?
Man, listen, I appreciate you, Sway. Always love.
Absolutely.
Got to get you out there. You know what I mean, on that water, you know, but July 29th, people, friends, family, tell everybody, come out, show support. If not, order the pay-per-view, because this is going to be one for the ages. I promise you that.
One for the ages. I love it, man. Terence Bud Crawford. Give him a big round of applause, man. That's our family right here.
A new